Now at 5, more local schools are in need of improvement. Why so many have been added to the state's watch list. Plus, Lisa?
Jackie, bullying is an issue in schools across central New York and America. Right now, we have experts standing by live in our newsroom to take your calls about bullying. The number to call is 477-9480. We'll check in with one of those experts in just a few minutes.
And one man, two very different mugshots. Tonight, we're investigating how a convicted rapist on the run could have changed so much without police putting out a new photo. NBC3 News at 5 starts right now.
CNY Central, this is NBC3 News at 5, an enhanced widescreen. Voted Best Newscast by the Syracuse Press Club.
Good evening. I'm Jackie Robinson.
I'm Matt Mulcahy. When convicted rapist Robert Blaney stopped reporting to his parole officer, police put out his picture and asked people to be on the lookout. But if you look at the pictures, it could be easy to miss him. The one that you see at first was Blaney 2 years ago, and this is the one from right now, after he was arrested driving a murdered woman's car. And there they are, side by side. Tonight, Jessica Kane investigates why the mugshot the public saw looks so different. She has new information.
He was the subject of a massive manhunt in the Utica area and is now the sole suspect in the murder of 68-year-old Linda Turner at the Davis Motel, which she owned. But the Robert Blaney who was arrested looks dramatically different from the Robert Blaney in this mugshot. The New York State Division of Parole says the state took this picture when Blaney was released from prison 2 years ago. From that point, Utica police are required to take a picture of Blaney every year, which they did.
We had a photo that was taken back in the spring. It essentially looks very similar to the initial photo that we released, with the exception of he had a little bit of hair.
And police also released this picture that they were able to find during their investigation. It was taken about 6 weeks ago. But police also stress it's easy for someone to dramatically change their appearance if they're trying to hide their identity, something that may have fooled Linda Turner. Friends describe her as savvy and careful when allowing people to stay at her hotel.
She just wanted good people here, and she had a pretty good following of people that come back year after year.
A tragic end to the manhunt, as police say Blaney was found driving Turner's car in Pennsylvania.
Do you feel the Utica Police Department did all it could to get an accurate picture of Mr. Blaney out there?
Absolutely. We sought sources outside of law enforcement to get the photos that we did have, so did everything we could to get it, and unfortunately it just ended the way it did.
Right now, Blaney is in custody on a charge of violating his parole, and coming up new at 6, we'll hear from the Oneida County District Attorney about what's next in this case. Matt?
Well, Jessica, to take a closer look at those mugshots, you can log on to our website, cnycentral.com.
An unprecedented number of schools have been added to the New York State watch list. Last year, only 4 school districts were added to the in need of improvement list. This year, that number is 89. Locally, 7 districts have been added to the list. Those include Auburn, North Syracuse, Central Square, Fulton, Mexico, Herkimer, and Ithaca. There are also several school districts still on the watch list. The Rome, Utica, and Syracuse school districts have all been on the list for at least 6 years. North Syracuse school district officials tell us they are not surprised so many extra schools were added to the list. The state changed the testing requirements, which led to the spike in schools. For a full list of schools on the watch list, just log on to our website, that's cnycentral.com. And coming up, new at 6, Brandon Ross shows us what schools plan to do next to help solve the problem.
Students at schools across central New York are facing growing problems with bullying. And tonight we're giving you the chance to get answers about what to look out for and how to protect your children. Lisa Spitz is standing by live right now with our panel of experts taking your calls. Lisa.
Hi, Matt. Our panel of experts will be here until 6:30 tonight. The number to call is 477-9480. We also have folks from the District Attorney's Office if you have legal questions about bullying. Right now, Stephanie Piston is joining us live. She is from the Love Is Not Abuse Coalition. First off, can you define to us what exactly is bullying, and how is that different than just being mean?
Bullying is a series of behaviors that would make a child uncomfortable. And I don't like to use the word victim often. I like to use the word target. It's a child that's being targeted. It's words, it's physical, those kind of actions on a regular daily basis makes it uncomfortable for the child to go through school, and then it affects them outside of the school. And now with technology, it's bullying and internet bullying.
Can you talk about, if you're a parent out there and you feel like your child is being bullied, what's the first thing that you should do?
Make every effort to try and talk to your child. You know, I sense something is wrong. Can you please tell me what's going on? Let's try to work this out. Let's get you help. And then once the child, we hope, will come to you, then you need to take the next step, going to the schools or to the teachers.
All right, Stephanie, thanks so much. If you have questions about how to handle a bullying situation or a legal question about cyberbullying, our panel of experts will be here till 6:30, 477-9480. Matt and Jackie.
Thanks, Lisa. And taking a live look over the city of Syracuse tonight, it's a much different night than last night, and now there could actually be snow coming up in the forecast. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Wayne Mahar is on the weather deck. He's tracking the forecast tonight. Hi, Wayne.
Hey there, Jackie. No, we are going to say there could be a few rain showers or wet snow showers, especially over some of the higher elevations later on tonight and for tomorrow. But whatever we see shouldn't be any big deal, okay? But obviously, it's a whole lot different than yesterday's 71 degrees. Here's what's going on right now, live triple Doppler radar. Got an area of rain out to the east of Syracuse now. Utica Row, Mohawk Valley, Adirondacks, down into the Catskills. That is slowly pushing away out to the east of here. And what we'll have left over overnight tonight, probably a few scattered lake effect rain showers and a few wet snow showers developing. Fastcast tomorrow, mostly cloudy, brisk, blustery winds and rather raw scattered rain showers and wet snow showers. High tomorrow 45. I'll be back with a full forecast. We'll look into the weekend in a few minutes.
Well, new tonight, there are plans in the works for the Syracuse Inner Harbor. The city says it has received 3 proposals to develop up to 28 acres. The city recently took control of about 34 acres from the New York State Canal Corporation. City officials say they don't know details of the proposals yet. The development proposals will be made public in the next few weeks.
Police at Penn State say they're investigating numerous suspects in the riot that broke out last night. Students took to the streets to protest the firing of head football coach Joe Paterno. The riots turned violent, with students toppling a news van and pelting a photographer with a rock. Meanwhile, Paterno's replacement faced the cameras today. Tom Bradley says he's taking over as interim coach with mixed emotions. Paterno was fired last night after accusations he did not go to police after learning his former assistant coach Jerry Sandusky was sexually abusing young boys. Now Tom Bradley says he'll have to shape the program's future.
I'm going to find a way to restore the confidence and to start a healing process.
Bradley played for Paterno and has been on the staff for 33 years. He will coach through the end of the season. We asked on our Facebook page what you think of Paterno's firing. Our fan of the day, Dawn Janis, agrees with the decision. She says no excuse for his lack of action. Should have happened sooner, and now maybe others who are also culpable will pay attention and realize that no one is exempt from the law, moral or otherwise. To join the conversation, like our Facebook page and leave your comments there.
Tonight, police in Venezuela are searching for a former Syracuse baseball player. Wilson Ramos was kidnapped last night. The government says it has sent its top investigators to find him. Ramos played with the Syracuse Chiefs last year. Team officials here in Syracuse say they're working to keep up with the situation.
Number one, people want Wilson Ramos to be safe, and they want his family to be safe, and they want to know what's going on, but it's difficult because the Venezuelan police, we don't know if they follow the same protocol as United States police, the National Guard, whatever it might be. We don't know how reliable their information is.
And Syracuse Chiefs players are tweeting their concerns for Ramos. Coming up at 6 o'clock, Sports Director John Evanson has more on the team's reaction.
New tonight, 2 men are facing charges accused of stealing from a Cuba County church. 20-year-old Daniel Edersheim and 21-year-old David Calkins are both charged with burglary. Investigators say a tip from the public led them to the suspects. Police say two Cyboria, like the one that you see here in the screen, were stolen back in August from the Sacred Heart Church on Melrose Road in Owasco. Officers tell us Calkins had both of them. One was severely damaged. The other one is just fine.
Starting in just about an hour, taxpayers in Cicero will have a chance to speak out on a controversial budget. The police department stands to lose up to $500,000 in funding. The police chief says that kind of cut could create an unsafe environment. But town supervisor Judy Boyke says that she would never support a budget that puts people in danger. Now Boyke is on her way out after losing to Jim Coral on election night. Chris McGrath is live in Cicero this evening right now, where the budget hearing will get underway soon. Chris?
Yeah, Jackie, it doesn't take much to, when you look around the town of Cicero, to see signs supporting this police department. Jackie, as you said, if this current proposed budget, if it were to go in as we speak right now, as you said, the police department here in Cicero would lose $500,000, $500,000. The police chief has told us that this sort of cut to the police department would put public safety in danger. He's always been a proponent of making cutbacks when they're necessary, but he says at this point it's something he cannot support because there's just nothing left to cut in this budget now. All the numbers are fluid in this budget. We want to point that out to you. But this could be another record breaker. Last year, the budget had the largest tax increase in 7 years. And if everything was to work out as we see it now, it could be even higher this year. Of course, a lot of things subject to change. There's a public meeting tonight. A lot of folks expected to show up and voice their concerns about this budget. We hope to speak with some people as they make their way in. Of course, this meeting starts in a little less than an hour now. And once that meeting starts, we'll bring you complete coverage of it. But for now, we are looking at a potential record-setting budget with potentially big cuts to the police department here in Cicero. For now, reporting in Cicero tonight, I'm Chris McGrath.
Thank you, Chris. 3 of the elephants from Syracuse's Rosamond Gifford Zoo are back home tonight. Coming up, what it took to bring Molly, Targa, and Chuck back to Syracuse.
And welcome back to NBC3 News. The Rosamond Gifford Zoo is a little more crowded tonight. 3 of the zoo's elephants are back home after 5 years at a safari camp in Canada. This video shows Molly, Chuck, and Targa at the African Lion Safari. Brandon Roth traveled to Canada last year to check on how the elephants were doing. The zoo raising about $8,600 in donations to help bring them home. And right now, the elephants are being kept in quarantine. They should be available for viewing in the Asian Elephant Preserve in about a month. Looking good.
Yes, I'm sure they felt right at home when they came back to Syracuse and found the temperatures in the sky gray and a little bit of moisture in the air. You know, the elephants, you know, they notice these things.
Yeah, and they know that our Syracuse weather.
That's true, but they were heading south, so they got into a warmer climate because, right, we are warmer than up in Canada, so they were heading south, and obviously we're not as warm, we're not as nice as we've been over the past few days, not the 71 degrees like we had yesterday, but we expected this. We said Thursday, Friday, we're going to have to pay the price a little bit for that great weather, and I'm still thinking the weekend, not bad at all. Here's a look at live triple Doppler radar for you. Got an area of showers out to the east of us right now, heading slowly further and further out to the east. So still raining right now across all the Adirondacks down through the Mohawk Valley, Utica down to Oneonta, but that is heading away. And we'll be left overnight with lots of cloudiness, a few scattered rain showers off the lake that'll develop. That could mix with a few wet snow showers and flurries. So here you go, hour by hour, mostly cloudy skies with a chance for, again, a few sprinkles or a couple of spotty light showers around here and there. Could mix with a few wet snow showers later on. Low tonight, 37 degrees. Some of the weather highlights: unsettled and colder for tonight and tomorrow. Could it be a small slushy accumulation of snow? Some of the highest elevations for tonight and tomorrow. But generally speaking, the weekend decent and milder, and next week a mild start and a colder finish. Here's a look at the temperatures around the region. There's our 46 right now in Syracuse, but you can see it's still going to get colder. Right now it's 38 degrees in Detroit, 39 degrees in Chicago, 31 in Duluth. Obviously, this core of colder air is going to move in over us, and that will be cold enough for a few snow showers to mix in later on tonight and for tomorrow morning, especially over those highest elevations. So the futurecast, the cold front has gone by. For tomorrow, we'll be into general west to northwesterly colder wind flow. Winds will gust to 20 or 30 miles an hour at times. Then once we get out of that, High pressure is going to build in. Winds will turn more southerly and will start to quiet things down heading on into the weekend. So here we go, 7-day weather outlook then for Veterans Day tomorrow. A lot of cloudiness, a blustery wind. It's going to be a cold, raw day. Scattered rain showers, a few wet snow showers mixed in. 45 for a high. Then on Saturday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, turning breezy, but more of a southerly wind, so it gets a little milder. High on Saturday, 52. Sunday, a windy, somewhat mild day. Sun and clouds mix, should hit 60. Should start out 60 on Monday. And then I think we've got a general, noticeably colder weather pattern shaping up for the end of next week. And that's the latest from the weather outside.
Tonight, we're giving you the chance to talk with the experts on the battle against bullying. Lisa Spitz is standing by live with our panel right now, taking your phone calls tonight. And Lisa, how's it going so far?
Matt, it's going really well. Some people want to know about the legal ramifications. What do you do if you feel like someone's bullying you? Can you contact authorities, and what really can they do about it? Jeremy Kelly is an assistant district attorney here in Onondaga County, and he joins us now. Jeremy, if you feel like someone is bullying your child, say, what legal rights, what can you do?
Well, there are laws in place that protect people, innocent people, from this kind of behavior. If it's happening, which has been kind of widespread lately through technology, if it's happening through electronic means, there's laws on the books, aggravated harassment in the second degree. If you're threatening, harassing, or annoying someone through electronic means, you can call law enforcement, call local police. And I think sometimes people are hesitant to do that, but I think it's a good idea to keep at it and to call law enforcement.
What if it's not on the internet? What if it's your kid just going to school and somebody is bullying them on the playground or somewhere in a high school? What can you do?
Well, if there's threats made, or if there's actual physical contact, someone's being struck or hit, that certainly crosses the criminal line. And I think it's a good idea to, first of all, let teachers know, let parents know, and if it's reaching the level where law enforcement needs to know, give us a call.
Quickly, are you seeing these calls and cases going up?
You know, I think bullying's always been there. We have seen it go up in regards to technology. We've seen people are willing to say and do things behind a keyboard that they otherwise wouldn't do face-to-face with someone. So in that regard, it's escalated.
All right, those phones are ringing. We'll let you get back to answering those calls. 477-9480. Our experts will be here until 6:30. Matt and Jackie.
Thanks, Lisa. In our Facebook story of the day today, you voted to hear more about an unusual treatment for postpartum depression. More and more women are taking pills made from their own placenta after giving birth. Joanna Spellman takes the pills at least 3 times a day. She gave birth 4 months ago. Spellman says the pills help regulate her mood swings and keep her emotions in check. She says the pills are great, but some doctors worry about patients taking placenta pills instead of seeking medical treatment.
The worst possible outcome of postpartum depression is suicide. You might not bond with your child appropriately, and so, you know, it's really playing with fire.
Even if it is just a placebo effect, if that's what it takes to feel better, then I don't see the harm in it.
The process of converting a placenta into pill form costs about $250. It is not regulated by health officials. And remember, you can weigh in on our Facebook story of the day every weekday morning starting at 6 on our Facebook page.
Well, the next mayor of Ithaca is setting a record. Coming up, Savante Myrick will be the youngest mayor in all of New York State. But he says his career in politics is not a gimmick. Plus, a famous face comes back to Central New York. We sit down with former NBC3 reporter Jeff Glor, who's just delivered his pizza. Now he's on to CBS News. Oh.
NBC3 is giving one lucky viewer the chance to see the Ellen DeGeneres Show live. All you have to do is watch Ellen at 4 o'clock, then tune in to NBC3 News at 5. If your name is announced, you'll get the chance to win a prize pack and be entered to win the grand prize of tickets to the show, round-trip airfare from JetBlue, hotel accommodations, and spending money. To enter, visit CMYCentral.com, click on Contest Corner for another chance to win. Listen to Ted and Amy on 93Q the next morning for a different trivia question and a second chance to win. The contest ends November 23rd. Today's winner, Yolanda Rucker. And today's question was on today's Ellen special. CMA correspondent Luke Bryan interviewed what famous country music couple? Check out our Facebook page tomorrow for the answer.
Welcome back to NBC3 News at 5. From Syracuse to the National Network News, Jeff Glor once reported right here on NBC3. Now, he doesn't change, Jackie. He just doesn't change at all. Now he's on the early show on CBS. Tonight, Glor is back here for an event, or Jeff, as we call him, at Syracuse University. But he's stopping by his old stomping grounds. First, when I looked at that video, I was like, now is that...
Do you like how I matched with Erica there? We did not coordinate that, by the way.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious. We didn't.
Don't you guys have people that...
No, we did not. I ended up picking that one out.
I had to check to see if that was file tape from when you were here or whether it's New York now.
No, that was just a couple.
You really haven't changed it.
No, you had the pizza one from when I was here, embarrassingly enough.
Yeah. What are your first thoughts when you and your wife drive back into town? The weather, or what?
Well, we don't have good weather right now.
No.
Anytime we come, I mean, it's just good to be back. Anytime we're back, it's just nice to, get off the exit. Last night when we were pulling in, and
things are familiar.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we obviously spent. I was here for 10 years, including school, and it's cool. It's weird not having the.
I know you're a guest. You're a guest instead of the anchor. He doesn't have the earpiece in, which we have in our ears. So just letting you in on that.
So what's new in New York?
Well, let's start with this. He won an Emmy Award, which I think is really exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for representing Central New York in that effort. Tell us about the story that won.
Well, Lord knows why they picked me, or us, but it was a Sunday morning piece we did a couple years ago now that we just got word a couple weeks ago that we won on the mayor of Braddock, Pennsylvania. And it was a huge
kind of a unique character kind of guy?
Unbelievable character, yeah, John Fetterman, so, yeah.
How do you like that part of the job of having an outlet like Sunday morning?
Amazing.
There's nothing else like it on television.
Amazing.
Away from the daily grind?
Yep, where you can do something that's 8 or 9 minutes long and really get into an issue. Absolutely, it's great.
Yeah, and you said you pitched that idea. You came up with it, and they liked it.
Yeah. You have more outlets everywhere. I mean, Sunday's one outlet for me, but whether it's the web, I started sort of like a blog with authors and everything else. I mean, you blog as well. I mean, the opportunities,
it's great.
There's a lot more stuff out there.
And it's great we have you under the CNY Central umbrella on CBS 5. I mean, when you worked here, we would have never mentioned that, but it's a different time now.
Yeah.
How's the morning show going? You got a good crew?
Yeah, we do have a good crew.
Everybody's getting along well and enjoying it?
It is. You never get used to the hours.
Yeah.
It's a different schedule for you.
You never get used to the hours totally. You're always kind of chasing that next nap.
What's the wake-up alarm clock?
Like 4.
Yeah.
And I'm in, usually typically a little before 5. But I love it. I mean, in the sense that I like being in the grind that early too, like being plugged in that early. So that's a cool part of it.
You're on the front end of the day, that's for sure.
Starting things off.
But as a friend once said, he says, nothing wrong with 4 o'clock in the morning except 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
When you feel it.
It's very well
We should say while you're actually here and back at Syracuse University. Yeah, you're doing an interview with...
Up at Newhouse tonight.
I am, I'll be at Newhouse 3 tonight doing a one-on-one up on stage with Sean O'Keefe, the former NASA administrator. So we're going to cover everything with him, including, where we think the...
we're actually showing the plane crash file now, yeah.
Sean was in the plane crash that unfortunately killed former Alaskan Senator Ted Stevens about 15 months ago now. So Sean's going to talk about he'll talk about the crash as well. But there's a wealth of stuff we can cover with him.
Looking forward to that. We'll try to get some coverage of that on tonight. Jeff, thanks for stopping in. Great to see you as always.
Good to be here.
Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Hang out for a while. We'll do a segment.
I'd love to.
We'll be back with more.